Hi there, and welcome to the Exploring Major session of UNT's Summer 2020 orientation. While we're disappointed that we can't all be together in person during this important step in your college career, we're excited to be a part of your orientation journey and hope that this session is a relevant and helpful tool in your major exploration process. So here's a look at what we'll be covering today. We'll talk about some common misconceptions people tend to have about choosing a major. We'll go over the steps you can take to explore different majors at UNT, and then we'll direct you to an exercise to kick off your exploring majors process. Finally, at the end of the presentation, we'll tell you how to get in touch with Joel, Rosie, or me for more questions and follow-up information. So let's start by talking about major misconceptions. These are some of the assumptions that we've noticed students often make about choosing a major that aren't always true. The first major misconception is the idea that when you choose a major, you are also choosing a certain job, career path, or industry. And that can feel like a lot of pressure. But the truth is, UNT undergraduate majors are designed to provide you with flexible, transferable skills that can allow you to flourish in a wide variety of careers. Here are a couple of examples. These are the jobs and majors of 5 UNT alumni. Take a minute and look at the careers and majors listed on this slide. What do you think is the major that the UNT students chose for these careers? It might sound crazy, but every single one of these alumni got their degree in psychology, which goes to show that one major has potential for many different careers. Let's try 5 more. Look at the job titles and see if you can guess the UNT majors. You've probably figured out my trick by now, but every single one of these alumni got their degree in biology. Did any of those results surprise you? This exercise was designed to show you that just because you choose a major doesn't mean you're also choosing one career in one field. In reality, there are many, many options available for all of our students at UNT. Let's talk about major misconception number 2. To finish your core classes first and to explore your major after. Have you heard this one? You know, the idea that you don't need to know your major right away and just work on your core for a while and then decide later. Parts of this are true. It's okay if you aren't 100% sure of your major choice right away. In fact, statistics say that about 75% of college freshmen will change their major at least once before graduation. So if you're undecided, you're in good company. But you can use your core requirements to intentionally explore majors you may be interested in. But you don't want to only take core requirements without also thinking about your major requirements, or you'll likely not have as much flexibility to change if you do decide on changing your major later on. Basically, keep your options open, but keep your eye on the finish line. Some majors are sequential, and you have to start on their major classes as soon as possible. Which brings us to major misconception number 3. You can only choose one. Sometimes a decision is hard to make because it feels like saying yes to one thing means saying no to everything else. However, many UNT majors allow for the flexibility of adding minors, certificates, or even double majors without adding much, if any, additional time. Click to the next slide for an example. This is Mateo, a recent UNT grad. Round of applause for Mateo. Mateo majored in hospitality management with a minor in Italian. While those may seem like they don't really go together, Mateo's goal is to be the general manager of a luxury Italian hotel. By choosing a minor that complemented his major and career goals, Mateo got to diversify his university experience and add a valuable skill set to his resume. Okay, that's it for me. I'm going to kick it over to Joel, but if you have any questions that I can help with, please feel free to send me an email. You can reach me at amanda.foltz@unt.edu.
Hey everybody, my name is Joel Jackson. I'm an academic counselor here. And for this section, what we're really going to be focusing on is the process and the steps necessary to explore majors at UNT. So this will be an outline of what this section covers. We're going to talk about self-knowledge, researching majors, researching careers, and lastly, deciding on your major. One thing that I would like to point out in the bottom right corner of this slide is a link to our website that links out several documents that will be important going forward. I wanted to also mention that we have these links in the YouTube video below, so I would recommend pulling those up while I talk about them so we can have a better idea of what we're talking about. But going back to this slide, one thing that I'd like to mention is that not all of you are in the same place in terms of being undecided. And what I mean by that is that there may be some of you who are really trying to determine what you actually like to do. Talking about there may be 10 to 15 different types of majors you're interested in, but why are you interested in that? There may be some of you who are thinking, okay, I know one or two majors that are interested in me, but I'm trying to figure out really that career piece. And so basically what I'm trying to say is that it's okay wherever you're at. Each of these sections will help you based on your level of decision or undecidedness. And so let's get started. So exploring self-knowledge. So this diagram is a really good representation of you as a person, right? It's looking at how personality, skills, interests, and values align with your ideal career. And it's an important thing to keep in mind and consider as you go forward. So some of you are probably looking at that diagram on the previous slide and you're wondering, okay, well, how do I know my personality? I don't know my values. I don't know my skills. That's okay. This is where we'll start with that. Number one, exploring self-knowledge. So this document here, this is the major action plan, and this is what we'll be using going forward. That tab one, so Career Center. The Career Center is a really beneficial resource, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in this section. But I first wanted to mention that it offers assessments. And what I mean by these assessments is it's basically a computer-based test that determines your skills, your interests, your personality, and values in order to inform you of majors and career opportunities that align with you as a person. And so that's a good foundational place to start because you can at least look at what you like and maybe based on some of your answers, what you don't. One other thing I would like to mention is UCRS 2100. This is going to be a career development course provided by UNT. It's a 1 credit hour class. It's pass, no pass elective, and it offers these assessments and it offers you the opportunity to gain exposure to majors and different types of careers. So this is really beneficial for those students who need more of a formal outline, like a class, in order to take some of these assignments and to really soak up that information. All right, let's research majors. All right, so exploring UNT majors, let's get into it a little bit. So going back to what I said previously, these are going to be linked on the YouTube video. So if you want to pull those up while we talk about it, go ahead. So let's start with the UNT majors activity. Essentially what this is a series of elimination. So it's a bird's eye view of all of the majors at UNT. And what we recommend students do, go through it, cross off colleges or majors you're not interested in, leave those majors blank that you're unsure of what it is, and then lastly, circle majors that you know you're interested in and write those on the back of this document. That is where we're able to actually come into play and help you guys take a deeper dive into those subjects, learn a little bit about what the major entails, look at some of the credit requirements, and then ultimately, if you're interested in changing your major, we send you off to that advising office to do so. The UNT Major Pathways. So this document provides the same information, but it kind of flips it on its head. So instead of looking at 110 different types of majors, you're looking at those 6 areas there. And so basing that, so you would look at behavior, culture, and context, read what that entails, like what is that, and then look at the majors and colleges that align with those interest areas. So naturally, when you look at management and industry, you'll think College of Business. But other things that you can also think of are biochemistry, right? Or the College of Merchandising and Hospitality Tourism that have majors that many of us haven't heard of. So it's a good way of presenting the same information, but kind of getting you to think about it differently. All right, so going back to the major action plan. And so we're researching majors in step 2. So that first tab there, explore all majors with a general advisor and advising services, that's us. So that's where you can meet with us and we can talk about maybe those assessments, we can talk about your interests major-wise and career, and we can just have a general discussion. A lot of the time students will feel pressured if they meet with a major advisor to maybe change that major, but the good thing about our office is we're not under any other college. We're separate from that and we can have a conversation based on anything you'd like. UNT catalog. So that's going to be a really good resource just throughout your entire duration at UNT. And that's where you can review courses. That's where you can review major requirements. So it's giving you that information at your fingertips. And then lastly, that academic advising office. So for those of you that do want to meet with those major advisors and you do want to talk about psychology and what it would look like if you was pursuing this as your major, if you change this major, you're more than welcome to do that. Each advising office will make an appointment with you and will be more than happy to talk about your opportunities with their majors. All right, let's get into step 3, so researching careers. So these links here will be provided to you, and I would recommend going through each of these. Ultimately, the career trajectory, that's one of the hard things to determine. You know, a good example of this would be a student who wants to major in psychology, and that's their passion. And that's awesome. But the thing with psychology is that you have so many opportunities career-wise that oftentimes it's daunting for students who graduate. So the first thing I'd like to point out is the Career Center. The reason this department exists is to speak to that other side of the coin from your major, right? So they'll be able to talk about Career Center opportunities and work on resumes and interview tips. And they'll be able to help break down some of those interests in psychology and what are those careers on the other side of that. They offer networking opportunities and they also have internships where you can gain relevant experience in the field you're studying just so you have a better idea of what entails on the other side once you graduate.
My name is Rosie Ridgway, and I'm an academic counselor in advising services. Amanda and Joel covered some of the misconceptions in choosing a major and some helpful tools to help you in your decision-making process. I will now cover the ways in which you can take your process a step farther. We encourage you to self-reflect and spend some time working through these activities that we've provided you. While they may seem tedious, they can shed light on what you value as an individual, a student, and an employee. At this point, you may have arrived at 2 or 3 different majors that you want to explore further. Great. You are one step closer to your goal. As a UNT student, you can email with or request advising appointments with multiple academic colleges. We feel that this is a great way to get detailed information about each one of your choices. During these meetings, make sure that you ask questions, engage in the material, and really think if it's a good fit for you. Great news though. While choosing a major is a really important decision, that decision doesn't determine your future. We're invested in your success at UNT, so we want you to find the best fit for you. Be sure that you think through your strengths, skills, and interests to make sure they align with what you'll be learning over the next 4 years. The best fit for you will be when all of these factors come together and that you feel confident in your choice moving forward. To continue in our UNT Major Action Plan, Step 4 is declaring your major. You are ready to set up an appointment with an advising office, whether that's to gather more information or to declare your new major. How do you do this? Well, there are a couple different ways. You can visit appointments.unt.edu, which is what you see on your slide, which takes you directly to our appointment manager system, where you can book the next available appointment with the college of your choice. You can also get to this same page by going to your My UNT student portal. When you log into your portal, there will be multiple tiles on your student homepage. Click on the tile entitled Advising and Orientation. From there, you'll find the option to schedule an appointment. The last way to contact an advising office would be to click on the link on this slide. You will find a list of the colleges here at UNT. Choose a college, click on the link, and you'll be taken to their advising website. From there, you will find the contact information you need to make an appointment. And of course, our office, Advising Services, is always available to you. If you would like to walk through any of these activities with our staff, we're here to help. We are available for chat during orientation as well. You can email us at untadvising@unt.edu, or you can give us a call.
Hi there, and welcome to the Exploring Major session of UNT's Summer 2020 orientation. While we're disappointed that we can't all be together in person during this important step in your college career, we're excited to be a part of your orientation journey and hope that this session is a relevant and helpful tool in your major exploration process.
So there you have it. We hope that you found this presentation informational. Please remember that you are not alone. There are many others that have no clue on what they want to study. Advising Services is here for you and always willing to guide you through this process. We understand that this orientation is a bit different than what you had in mind, but we encourage you to get the most out of this experience. Throughout your orientation, there will be various opportunities to chat with advisors in college-specific chat rooms. Wow, what an amazing resource to get some of your exploring major questions answered in real time. Take advantage of this unique opportunity. We will be available as well in a live format. If you have any questions about what you heard today or on what your next steps look like, just let us know. Check your orientation schedule. We are available on day 2 from 2 to 5 p.m. Joel, Amanda, and I thank you for your time today, and we hope you have a wonderful day.